Hello everyone, George here, and this is the introduction to a new series that I'm going to be developing where I explore the Explorer 16 development board. So for a while now, in some of my engineering courses, I've been working with different microcontrollers. However, I haven't been able to refine my skills to the point where I'm confident in doing any project. The next series of videos that come out are going to be me, after I have done some research, implementing things that, well, I found confusing or just didn't get a great answer on in my time learning about these things. And I'm hoping that you're going to learn along with me how the development board works, as well as how PIC microcontrollers work, as well as how to work with all the different methods of communication, such as UART, SPI, and so forth, and I2C. Now, if you want to follow along, you don't necessarily need the development board, but I am using this. And of course, you can go to Microchip's website and search for the Explorer 16, and you can purchase it from their page if you don't already have one. But more importantly, whenever you're working with microcontrollers, documentation is king. So I do recommend that we go ahead and start downloading some of this. I'm going to be looking at the Explorer 16 Development Board User's Guide, and I may be pulling some of this other information as well, especially maybe the errata right down here. This board by itself does not contain a microcontroller, so I'm going to need to buy one. And I've chosen this one right here, the PIC24FJ256GA110 MCU. This is a plug-in module that you can place right in. There are other ones as well that you can purchase that you can plug in. I'm going to be going with this one in particular because the last course I took was working with this chip. And unfortunately, some features I wasn't able to implement in time. And I would really like to use this chance to go back and make sure I understand how they work. So that being said, if you're following along, you can of course use any of these different chips. Just realize that your documentation is going to be a little bit different. Your pin mapping might be different and a few other things as well. And you'll have to consult your reference material to make sure you're doing the right thing. I would recommend downloading the pin outputs for this thing so you know exactly where they go. And I would also recommend finding your particular microcontroller's number and its documentation. So here's the plugin module. I'm just going to grab this and let's do a search for this particular one. What we want are the data sheets for this. So here's the family data sheet, which we can work with. It looks like it's revision 5. I can tell by the 05 on the end. And you're going to want to download this and store it away. Remember, this is actually for 64, 80, and 100 pin versions of the 16-bit microcontroller. So there's going to be multiple versions on here. You need to make sure that you're working with the right one and you're referencing the right information as you work along. And we're going to dive into the datasheet. I'm going to show you how to use the datasheet if you're not familiar with it, what sections to go to, and more importantly, when the datasheet fails. Because actually, this is more of a summary of all the different features this particular microcontroller has. We really want to download a lot of other documentation, specifically one for each of these areas. So for instance, let's go to I/O ports, which is going to be probably one of the first videos we actually jump into. And you're going to notice right here, it says, for more information, refer to the PIC 24F Family Reference Manual, Section 12, I/O ports with peripheral pin select. So we're actually going to want to jump into this other manual to learn more about it. And I find it's just, you can search their website if you want to, or what you can do is, let's see, that's the data sheet, that's that. Let's see if I click this, this will take us to the documentation on this particular chip. So here's, of course, the data sheet right there that we can download. We've already done that. We can go to the documentation section, and in here is a wealth of knowledge, and this is typically what none of us want to sit down and actually read. If we go down further, we can find all the reference manuals, and I really recommend just going through and downloading all these individual sections, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Just have them on hand because we will be referring to them in these videos, and I will be showing you where any of the knowledge that I'm using comes from, because it really is contained completely within the data sheets. It's just about searching it out. So with that, we're going to end this introductory video. And in the next video, we're going to talk about installing all the software necessary to communicate with our board. Thanks everyone. I hope you're going to enjoy this series, and make sure you like so that I know this is something you're all interested in, and I will continue making more videos on this subject. Have a great night, everyone. So long. Bye.